Hello, everybody. Today we're going to start with Unit 11, Grammar 2, and what we're going to see is causative. You are more than welcome to read the theory from the book, but for this explanation, I'd rather you watch the slides that I have prepared for you and take notes. So, first, what we're going to see is the structure of causative. And the structure is the subject plus the verb have or the verb get. Yes, this will be in the correct tense. Plus the object plus the past participle. What's the use of it? The action is more important than who does it, or we do not know who did it or who does it. Okay, so in use, it's the same as passive voice. So let's check on this example. If in the active sentence we have Mike cleans Jeanette's office, then the causative would be Jeanette has her office cleaned by Mike. So what happens here is that Jeanette, that was part of the object, yes, in a possessive way, as you can see, because it has the apostrophe S, becomes the subject in the causative. And then we have the verb has, which is in simple present. And why is it in simple present? Because the verb cleans in the active sentence was in simple present. So the verb that it's in the active sentence tells me which tense I have to use in the causative. So we have has, and then we need the object. In this case is her office. And after the object, we need the past participle. In this case, cleaned. All right, and if we know who did the action, we can add this information with by Mike, okay? But this last part is not always necessary. Another way could be, in the causative, Jeanette gets her office cleaned by Mike, yes? So gets, it's also in simple present because the verb cleans, it's in simple present. So the tense of the verb in the active sentence tells me the tense of the verb have or the verb get in the causative sentence. Now, we have many examples for you to make really clear how this works. Even the active sentence is Mike cleans Jeanette's office. Cleans, it's in simple present, so the verb have is in simple present, have or has, depending on the subject. So the causative would be Jeanette has her office cleaned by Mike. So it's has plus the object plus the past participle. If in the active we have Mike cleaned Jeanette's office, cleaned it's in the simple past, so the verb have in simple past would be had. So the causative would be Jeanette had her office cleaned by Mike. So we have had plus the object plus the past participle. If in the active we have Mike is cleaning Jeanette's office, is cleaning, it's in present continuous. So the verb have in present continuous would be is, are, yes, depending on the subject, plus having. So the causative would be Jeanette is having her office cleaned by Mike. So it's having plus the object plus the past participle. If in the active you have Mike was cleaning Jeanette's office, was cleaning, yes, it's in past continuous, so the verb have in past continuous was or were, depending on the subject, plus having. So the causative, Jeanette was having her office cleaned by Mike. Was having plus the object, sorry, the object is missing here, plus the past participle. Then, if in the active sentence we have Mike has cleaned Jeanette's office. Has cleaned, it's in present perfect, so the verb have in present perfect, have or has, depending on the subject, plus had. So the causative, Jeanette has had her office cleaned by Mike. So has had plus the object plus the past participle. If in the active sentence we have Mike had cleaned Jeanette's office. Had cleaned, it's in past perfect, so the verb have in past perfect would be had had. So the causative, Jeanette had had her office cleaned by Mike. So had plus the object plus the past participle. If in the active we have Mike is going to clean Jeanette's office, is going to clean, it's in the future, so the verb have in the future would be is going to have. Then the causative would be Jeanette is going to have her office cleaned by Mike. So is going to have plus the object plus the past participle. If in the active we have Mike will clean Jeanette's office, will clean, which is in the future, means that the verb have will also be in the future, will have. So the causative Jeanette will have her office cleaned by Mike. So will have plus the object plus the past participle. Oof, a lot of people get ready to write down. If the active is Mike should clean Jeanette's office, should clean, it's a modal verb, then the verb have in infinitive should have. So the causative Jeanette should have her office cleaned by Mike, should have plus the object plus the past participle. If in the active sentence we have Mike must clean Jeanette's office, must clean is a modal verb, so the verb have in infinitive must have. So the causative Jeanette must have her office cleaned by Mike, so must have plus the object plus the past participle. If in the active we have Mike can clean Jeanette's office, can clean, it's a modal verb, and the verb have in infinitive can have. So the causative Jeanette can have her office cleaned by Mike. So can have plus the object plus the past participle. If in the active you have Mike might clean Jeanette's office, might clean, it's a modal verb, so the verb have in infinitive might have. So the causative Jeanette might have her office cleaned by Mike. So might have plus the object plus the past participle. And that was it for the structure. Now, another thing that you have to pay attention is careful with the agent. So the agent is who does the action, yes? And when we want to express who does or did the action, we put it at the end of the sentence. So check these examples. If in the active we have Mike cleans Jeanette's office. Yes, Mike is the subject. Then in the causative, Jeanette has her office cleaned by Mike. Sorry, by Mike is the agent. I don't know what happened here that it moved from place, but by Mike is the agent. Then another things you have to pay attention. If in the active you have he cleans Jeanette's office, then the causative would be Jeanette has her office cleaned. Full stop, up to there. It would not be correct to put by him, okay? And then if in the active we have somebody cleans Jeanette's office, in the causative we would say Jeanette has her office cleaned, full stop, not by somebody. Why not? Why not by him or by somebody? Because we're not giving relevant information. Who is somebody? Who is him? Okay, so when that happens, we omit it. We do not put that information. And the last thing, preposition plus the person or material or instrument would be, for example, Mary has her homework corrected by the teacher, so it's by plus the person, or Peter had his car repaired with special tools, with plus and instrument. Okay, and basically that would be for today. So I hope you have taken notes of all of this. Do the following exercises and we'll check your doubts in class. See you.